Have you had a baby 3 months ago or even 3 years ago and maybe your core still doesn't feel right? You've been working out, you've been doing core exercise, maybe even planks, but your belly feels soft, your lower back aches, and no matter how much you engage your core, something just feels off.
Does this sound familiar? I know exactly how frustrating that is because I've been there. After having my first baby, I remember trying to fix my core, jumping into the wrong exercises way too soon, and nothing seemed to work. It wasn't until I discovered the missing piece, the way the brain and breath connect to the core, that everything changed.
This isn't just about strength. It's about how your core functions after pregnancy. If your brain isn't letting your core fire properly, all the crunches in the world won't help. But the good news, you can rebuild your core strength in a way that actually works.
In this video today, we're going to show you exactly why your core still feels weak, how to test if it's fully recovered, and the specific steps to restore your strength safely and effectively.
If this video helps, please like, comment, and subscribe. It'll really mean a lot to us and it'll help support the channel.
Before we go into the specific steps to restore your core, you need to understand that your core isn't just about a six-pack or that well-published rectus abdominis muscle. It's so much more than that. It's the entire system that stabilizes your body, protects your spine, and supports movement. And after pregnancy, the core system can get disrupted.
Now you might ask, why does our core system get disrupted after pregnancy? Well, after pregnancy and giving birth, our deep core muscles get stretched and weakened, which drastically affects how your core fires or functions. Your abdominals and pelvic floor go through huge changes, and as a result, the way that your muscles fire can be disrupted. If your brain perceives instability, it may prevent your core from fully activating, causing your body to compensate by gripping or tensing other muscles instead.
And the frustrating truth is that too many postnatal workouts miss the key first step, which is retaining function, not just strength. Believe me, I know from experience, missing the fundamentals will not help you. They will just push back your recovery.
Now, if you're questioning the function of your core, here are some common signs that could indicate your core is not fully recovered. Diastasis recti. This is that separation of the abdominal muscles along the midline. Lower back pain that again won't go away. Pelvic floor issues like leaking, heaviness, or discomfort. Feeling weak or disconnected in movements that used to feel strong. Visual signs like doming or coning in the abdomen when you sit or move.
And now, whilst these issues are common, they don't have to become your new normal. As I said before, one of the biggest mistakes you can make in your journey to restore your core is skipping the foundational work. If there's one thing you need to do first before going into strength exercises, it's connecting your brain to your core. And that's exactly what we're going to do in the following 3 steps.
So step 1, reconnect your core with breath work. Most people don't realize that breathing is the foundation of core recovery. Our diaphragm is part of our deep core. It needs to be utilized to ensure our deep core muscles activate properly and work together. Without this, your core exercises can go to waste.
So try this. Sit or lie down comfortably, and you can either place one hand on your lower ribs and the other on your chest, or you can cup your lowest ribs with your hands, feeling the breath 360. Now you're going to take a slow breath in through your nose and notice where the air is going. If your chest rises more than your belly and ribs, your breath is staying too high. And instead of forcing your belly out, think about expanding your ribs in all directions, front, sides, and back. And it may help to visualize the air going in and down through the nose rather than up the nose. As you exhale, you want to let your ribs gently draw back in, feeling a light activation in your deep core, but you don't have to overthink it at this step. It may help to exhale through pursed lips, but this should be thought of as a starting point. Over time, we're going to move towards nasal breathing.
And I just love that tip, Hannah, the nose one. I never thought of that before. Instead of breathing up the nose, think of breathing down, and it's incredible how it changes the dynamics around the core.
Very helpful.
Yeah, so once this feels natural, start layering in core engagement on the exhale in the following different positions. Lying on your back, exhale gently and activate your deep core by zipping up the pelvic floor, back to front, like you're trying to stop yourself passing wind and water. And energizing the hip bones towards each other like magnets.
And then move to side lying. So you want to maintain engagement without gripping, where you think of lifting the side waist away from the floor and upwards. And then even moving to tabletop, bringing the wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Keep the breath and engagement steady and the spine nice and neutral while doing this engagement.
You can also go up into standing. Now, can you feel your core engage as you breathe out while standing tall? All of this will teach your core to activate reflexively, just like it should in everyday movements. And then you can even start doing this when you're walking, playing with your kids, but then eventually you want to stop thinking about it.
Because it's going to happen automatically. So let's move on to step 2. Test and restore your core engagement without bracing. Once you've built breath awareness, the next step is checking if your core is engaging properly when under load. So again, come back to lying on your back, your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. You're then going to place your fingertips just inside your hip bones. It's going to feel a little bit squidgy, and down a little bit as well.
This is my favorite thing. This helps me understand what's going on around there better than anything.
So as you inhale, you're going to feel a little bit of movement underneath your fingers, and it should feel soft. And as you exhale, you're going to gently engage your deep core just like before, and at the same time, lift the head and shoulders a small amount as if starting a crunch. You should feel some activation underneath your fingers. And whilst doing this, make sure to watch for bulging, coning, or doming in the midline of your abdomen, just like Cel was saying before, because this is a sign your core isn't supporting you properly.
Also, watch out for pain or instability in the core, or if you feel tension in your neck taking over instead of your core. And lastly, check that you're not holding your breath rather than exhaling through the movement.
So after this, you're then going to start with gentle core activation exercises that don't encourage gripping or any of the other watch points we've already mentioned before. So these could be heel slides, where as you exhale, you slide one leg out and back. Or bent knee fallouts, where you keep the pelvis stable as you drop one knee out to the side. Or even side lying core engagement, where you focus on maintaining a small, controlled activation. These can be modified as much as you need.
And this retrains your core to work with your breath and the movement instead of just that one single strategy, which is bracing. Now, step 3, we're going to build strength without compensation. Now that your core is engaging properly, it's time to introduce limb movements to increase demand, such as scissors, where you move slowly and controlled with leg switches and exhale with each movement. Maybe glute bridges. Make sure to engage your core before lifting the hips when you think along the line of energy, shoulders to knees, or hip dips, where you focus on controlled lowering to strengthen the eccentric phase.
Or even bird dogs, where you extend the opposite arm and leg, or you could even just move one limb at a time, keeping the spine neutral, the core engaged, and remember to breathe.
Yeah, and I think that that's the important thing. When we're telling you keep your core engaged, that means inhale, there'll be a release, exhale, there'll be a contraction.
Exactly. So whilst doing these movements, make sure you're not doming or bulging in the abdomen, just like we said this before. And if you do notice this, please don't worry, but make sure to modify and ramp down the intensity. We also want you to maintain that steady breathing so you don't hold your breath.
And just avoid gripping at all costs in those upper abs, because we want to let the deep core do the work. And if you've got those upper abs gripping, the deep core is probably going to take a holiday and fly off to Mexico. If you feel lower back strain, reduce the range of motion.
When doing these exercises, you're progressively challenging your core while reinforcing proper activation. Over time, this builds the strength and function needed for real-life movements such as picking up your child, lifting a bag, running, or simply moving with confidence.
Now that you understand how to start rebuilding your core, the next step is just as important, which is learning how to release your pelvic floor. Most people unknowingly hold too much tension, which can hold back proper core activation. So make sure to watch this next video to learn about how to release your pelvic floor for a truly strong foundation. And thank you as always for supporting our channel. We really value you, and we really can't wait to hear more about the comments that you have on this topic or any other in what you've got to say down below.